Welcome to TradeTheNBI.com. This is John. This report is for the 6th of December. Well, more activity here. We pushed right back up to that 46.13 became the resistance. Pushed back again to the 50, held off that. And so as long as we continue to maintain that hold at the 50, that would be an indication that institutional buyers are sucking up at that point. And we look for that magenta to eclipse the white NBI there. Or in this case, the orange dipping below the 7.5 and into the turnaround of DOC red as well as green midterm buyers. We've already had short-term buyers lifting an element. And we've not dipped below the red line through all of this, so it's not oversold either. Something to keep in mind from a YM standpoint. That was the positive extreme, and again, provided the same resistance. It's just a little bit higher up there, meeting it. And from the NQ has been stronger in general, but relatively speaking now at the same 50% as the S&P as well. So congruent from that standpoint, at least from the technical side of it. Gold making a little bit of a pop, but not much given the fact that there's still so much uncertainty as to what the Fed can and can't do given abysmal economic conditions that continue to deteriorate, but from that standpoint also is a bonus because it suggests that, well, the government's just going to throw more money at it is the idea. And that should be enough to hold the euro, but still the euro, even in the worst case of U.S. printing, the euro still has a lot of hurdles unrelated to it. And from an oil standpoint, that's just going to ebb and flow based on demand side, more likely than the geopolitical stuff that's going on. And OPEC willing to open up the taps. They can certainly adjust how much supply is available. This is something that we've talked about for a while. Every time we reached the upper mid-60s here in Bitcoin, we kept getting repetitive sell signals, even at the most recent highs, because we knew they were divergent. We were at higher highs and lower shakeout. Histogram readings right there, positive extremes up peak. And then, of course, the NBI white leading over the magenta and that just sent it to previous algo levels that we just kept marking with all these positive extremes, the earliest going back to the 48,000 level. And we watched just steadily as that rising NBI calls for at least a move to the 50%. And the fact that we've stayed with white NBI leading, we're pushing towards that 0% with given me. So we would like to see a higher NBI white, more towards the 40 to justify the 0%, but at least you're likely to hit the 23. Of course, if you hit the 23, you're going to hit the 48K positive extreme that pretty much was the lead to the whole beginning of it. This first large bar was on yellow, can still get filled, but didn't have the same degree. And from a 60-minute chart, it's pretty much a sell from the middle of the day all the way through, and it was just brutal from its context going down. And it's going to, well, it's opening right now off another 4K. And the word was there was mass liquidations, 500,000 accounts wiped out, some of them in the multi-millions. So this is what happens when we speculate on a cryptocurrency when they move this volatile. Ethereum, not as bad. But still pretty straightforward for us to follow from a 5K tick. It was pretty clean all the way, and still on the bright side of its dip right here, but white leading could be problematic for it. And then from our ES50K, it was a sell early on, and literally just moved all the way back to the 0%, and that was off that white NBI spike. That happened early on, and then pretty much just decayed along with that and went straight to the zero. It wasn't really able to find much of a buy every time it popped. Even remotely red NBI was leading it, so it's just a matter of looking for that closing below white NBI, and we eliminated the continuation within that signal, which is positive. From a 5K standpoint, you can see we're opening up slightly higher there. End of the day was a nice rally Friday afternoon. The buyers bought into that more than a couple times. So the first dip coming back to a little over 50% sell, but returning right back to it and then popping from there. That was pretty clean, but if we scroll back through most of the day, there was some really nice signals, at least from a short side from the movement and those white spikes taking us back to the zeros if we're willing to play for the depth of it. But even if you're just looking for your short little pops into it, this all produced just a series of beautiful executions that took place literally throughout the day, and it started early on. It was just right before the market opened here, and once the pre-market bell started, and started to get some pretty clean signals for the decay that was about to come. And so I think we're just going to see a lot more of that volatility, and should be exciting. So look forward to it. Actually, we'll be on the Skype chat to share details. As always, trade well. We'll talk to you later.